Okay, guys, after, 28 years, I believe, the San Diego Padres have finally brought back brown. They are finally going to be wearing brown on a full-time basis once again. They are brown and gold once again for the first time since, I believe, 1990. Because if I remember correctly, the San Diego Padres switched to their, even to this day, quite popular navy blue and orange uniforms back in 1991. And since then, the Padres have gone through a slew of color changes. Well, color scheme and uniform changes between 1991 and today in 2019, where they went from being navy blue and orange to being navy blue and a sand color. And then there was even a short time a few years ago where they had a white jersey with navy blue and gold. And they've even done special camouflage uniforms. And I'm just trying to think. But I know that they've been mostly navy blue and white since 1991, where in the beginning half, or for a short time, or not a short time, but from the 1990s, I believe, up until the early 2000s, late 1990s, they were navy blue and orange. And then from there, they went to navy blue and tan, which they've called sand. And then they got rid of the sand and went with navy blue, white, and gray. And then over the past few years, not only did they have the brown throwbacks, but then I believe a few years ago in 2016 was when they unveiled a new brown alternate jersey. And now, over time, a few years later, after doing a lot of fan surveys and sitting down with season ticket holders and stuff, the Padres have come up to the conclusion that their fan base wanted them to go back to brown and gold, which they will be doing for the 2020 season and going forward beyond that as well, as far as I know. And personally, if you did see my video back in, I believe, January, I was excited then, and I am just as excited now about the return to brown and gold. Now, I understand that not everyone's going to agree with me on this. I know at least one of you, for sure, does not like the Padres in brown. And I respect your opinions out there if you don't agree. But for me, I feel that going back to brown was by far the right decision, the best decision that the Padres have made as a franchise in a long, long time. Because they are the only team in Major League Baseball that has brown. And I've said it quite a bit this year in 2019 as I've started to do more videos about baseball uniforms in Major League Baseball for the very first time ever. And the thing is that I've said it throughout this year that I feel that there are too many teams in baseball with either a royal blue or a navy blue jersey, or one of those two colors in their color scheme. So seeing the Padres now owning their own primary color, brown, in my opinion, is terrific. Now, notice on the uniforms that the Nike checkmark is right here. Personally, that I agree with everyone. That is stupid, and I really do hope that all of the Major League Baseball franchises turn around and say, hey, Nike, put your damn logo on the sleeve like Majestic has done for years. That's where it should be, nowhere else. Now, also notice I know it's not the best quality photo, but notice the swinging friar is now in a yellow circle on the one sleeve of the jersey. Personally, I love that extra little addition. So what I'm going to do is, for this video, obviously, I will be sharing my thoughts on the new Padres uniforms that you see right here. So obviously, the home jersey will be the white one you see here with pinstripes and the brown Padres wordmark with gold trim. Now, I know a lot of people have said that the Padres probably did not need this collar style or striping on the collar, but you know what? I like it. I feel it adds a little bit of contrast, even though I do agree it would be fine without it. I do like it. But now, here's the kicker about San Diego. Their main away uniform will be the brown jersey with sand-colored pants. They are not wearing gray. They are wearing sand. So, and speaking of that sand color, the Padres have come up with, instead of a gray jersey, a sand jersey and uniform. So the thing about the Padres is that their main away uniform will be the brown jersey with the sandy tan colored pants, which I think is actually really cool. But here's the thing about San Diego. They will be the only team in Major League Baseball that does not have a gray away uniform of any kind. Personally, I love that. And do I want to see every single team in Major League Baseball not have a traditional gray away uniform? Absolutely not. But I've felt for a long time that it's really, really cool to see a team or two do something different. And seeing San Diego do something totally different, I really, really respect it. So instead of a gray away uniform, actually this sand uniform here is actually just an alternate away uniform. So according to sportslogos.net, when the San Diego Padres were redesigning their uniforms and coming up with the final product that you see here, Major League Baseball did request that the Padres have a lighter away option, just in case there's, say, a matchup, like, for example, say the Cleveland Indians in navy blue versus the Padres in brown. It would not be a very good color versus color matchup. And in a case like that, San Diego will have the sand away uniform that also has pinstripes as an additional road option just in case. Which personally, I think that having that option there is probably a good thing. But anyways, let's see. Where should I go from here? There's quite a bit I want to cover before I get to a point where I can actually wrap up this video. And I want to make sure I cover as much detail as I can. So these were the uniforms that the Padres had this past season. The navy blue jersey that you see there, even though I have wanted the Padres in brown and gold for a very long time, in fact, ever since I saw that the Padres wore brown and gold, even when I was getting to the end of my high school years earlier this decade, I've felt for a very long time that the Padres should go back to brown and gold. It's a unique color scheme, and I'm really glad that they will be embracing it once again. So these were the home and away uniforms they wore this past season. Finally, the navy blue is gone. I mean, I will say this, though. I always liked this navy blue Padres jersey, but you know what? They're just another blue team. Well, they were just another blue team. So seeing them get rid of the navy blue, I am more than happy to see it go. Now, also notice the two camouflage jerseys you see there. They do have two new ones for this coming season, and I will show and acknowledge those in this video as well. And this was the old Padres alternate uniform that is now retired. Now, there is something else I do want to mention as well. Thanks to sportslogos.net's article about the Padres' new uniforms, we now know that the Padres have decided to go with a darker hue of brown. Personally, I think that was 100% the right decision, and personally, I do like the new hue of brown a lot more than the old one. So here's another opportunity to look at the full uniform. I see that San Diego has elected to go with pinstripes on the white and sand uniforms, and notice the stirrups there. I think that's what they call them. Correct me if I'm wrong. Very nice looking uniform overall. And notice the swinging friar. That's a little bit of a better photo of it. And the brown cap. And also notice that the San Diego, the interlocking SD logo on the hat, it was tweaked a little bit. And let's see. I'll try and show you one more picture. I don't like those socks as much as these ones. I like them because they also highlight the gold. But yeah, overall, and there we go. There's a much better picture of the swinging friar on the one sleeve. I really like that secondary logo on the sleeve myself, Overall, it's really, to me, it is really, really quite nice to see the Padres go back to brown. This is something that I think they should have done a long time ago. And there's another shot, and I know it looks gray from this photo here, but it is actually a sand color rather than an actual gray color. And overall, I mean, I think it's good that the Padres do have that road uniform as an alternate option available just in case. I do respect the Padres for at least having that option available, which I hope we won't see it too much because I really like the idea of the Padres wearing brown. But the thing is, you know what? I don't disagree with Major League Baseball's decision to request that the Padres have a lighter option available for their road games. But the one thing is that the pinstripes on the sand uniform here on the far left, I'm not a fan of that. I think that the sand color with the pinstripes, that's not my favorite look, but I'm okay with it. And the thing is that overall, this to me is a major, long overdue upgrade for the Padres. Now, let's see here. I'm going to try and go through some more photos. First off, I do want to make sure I quickly show you viewers out there the new updated military appreciation uniforms. So there's two different ones. I'm not exactly sure which camouflage uniform represents what in the United States military. And to you Padres fans out there, I do apologize for not knowing that myself. But these are their two camouflage uniforms they will be wearing throughout this coming season in 2020. And you know what? I think they're actually going to look pretty good on the field when they do their military appreciation nights and games. So I must say, though, I will say this. I think the digital camo jersey is actually pretty cool. And I love how they've put the swinging friar even on the sleeve of this jersey. I'm not sure about this one because it's only showing the U.S. flag on one sleeve. It might have the swinging friar on the other. I'm not sure. But these two for alternate uniforms that are military appreciation uniforms, I don't mind the Padres doing this, especially when I believe they were the first team to ever start doing this or doing these camouflage alternate uniforms to pay tribute to the United States military. So seeing the Padres have a couple options here, I'm actually totally cool with this. And especially when the Padres were the very first team, as far as I can remember, that started this trend of wearing special military appreciation camouflage jerseys. So I actually feel that as alternate uniforms, these are actually pretty cool. And I especially like the digital camouflage one over here on the left. But yeah, no, I apologize for not knowing exactly which branches of the military those uniforms are designed to acknowledge. But I must say, I think it is cool that the Padres are keeping their tradition of their military inspired alternate jerseys. So I will say this overall. I do feel that the new jerseys are a major upgrade, but I will say this though. I was kind of hoping for a script that was either something more along the lines of this or something more inspired by the word mark that they had in the 1970s as well as the 1980s. But as I say that, I am very, very, very grateful for the fact that the Padres have decided to go back to brown. So if I remember correctly, I remember reading the article about the Padres' new uniforms on sportslogos.net, and Major League Baseball requested that the Padres have a lighter uniform option for away games if need be, which they've done. Another thing is that the marketing department of the San Diego Padres and the franchise itself really spent a lot of time with focus groups doing research for these uniforms. They've made it clear that they really wanted to listen to the fans, and they said that these uniforms were brought out for the fans because they have said that they've really heard a huge desire from the Padres fan base for them to return to brown and gold. And personally, even though I think the uniforms could have been better, to be honest, I really respect San Diego for doing this. I really do believe that the fact that they acknowledged their fans the way they did, I think they deserve a ton of respect for what they've done here. Even the fact that they've gone back to that color scheme, I wholeheartedly respect San Diego for acknowledging and respecting their fans. So it's really nice to see, and I hope more sports teams will start to do more to listen to their fan bases, because this to me has been a really good year, 2019 for teams listening to their fans. Another example I can think of is the National Hockey League's Chicago Blackhawks, because even though in the NHL, Adidas has a specific jersey template for all of the teams to have to follow, they did what they could to fix their collar design that they've had for the past 2 seasons for this season. And they did that because the fans made it clear that they felt that the collars were horrible, which I 100% agree, And the thing is they listen to their fan base. And now seeing another team not only listening to their fan base, but going back to a color scheme that's totally unique, I really respect San Diego for what they've done. I feel that the Padres overall did a very good job with these uniforms, especially in the short term. Now, as I say that, though, there is one thing that I will say about these uniforms, and it's that I'm not a lover of the word marks. I do wish that they would have had more of a cursive script like that one jersey I showed you guys just a moment ago, and I'll go back to it. Oops, wrong photo. That's the wrong one again. My apologies. But a word mark either like this or even like this one here. Something that would have been a hybrid between the two, I think would have actually been a really good choice. I would have liked that better than this. But as I say that, folks, I will certainly take this over staying with the status quo. And I think most of us can certainly agree with that. But yeah, I wish that they would have done more of a throwback style cursive script on the front, or even the 70s inspired word mark on the front, or even the 70s word mark on the front, I think would have looked really good here too. But as I say that, though, I will certainly take this over nothing at all. And with the home jersey, I'm not fully against the pinstripes. There's part of me that thinks it would have been kind of good if they didn't have the pinstripes, but at the same time, the pinstripes do look good. Brown pinstripes and the brown word mark and the brown accents really, in my opinion, helps hit home that the Padres now own brown in Major League Baseball, and I'm not against that. But as I say that, though, for the San jersey and uniform, I do wish that they would have kept the pinstripes off of it, even though it does give them a bit of a unique look, having a gray/sand uniform or an away uniform that has pinstripes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't remember anybody else that has a gray, or in this case, off-gray away uniform that has pinstripes on it, at least as of 2019. And if I am incorrect on that, folks, please do correct me, because I can't remember off the top of my head. But I think the Padres may be the only team now that has an away alternate that has pinstripes on it. But overall, I mean, I do feel that San Diego did a very good job with these uniforms. I think for me, one thing that I thought might have actually been okay is if they had like a brown stripe going from the sleeve all the way up to the shoulder and a gold stripe right beside it, which is a style that they did quite a bit in the 1980s. With teams such as the Montreal Expos, for example. And I think something like that could have looked really cool here, but I'm okay with it as is. But overall, even though I think the word marks could have been better for sure, I am just grateful for the fact that they've even gone back to brown and gold in the first place. And in the short term, I am very, very happy with the Padres and what they've come up with here. But I will say this as well. I noticed that the Padres marketing person that was interviewed on sportslogos.net when Chris Creamer put that wonderful article together when the Padres unveiled these new uniforms, the person that Chris Creamer interviewed said that they felt that they didn't want the Padres to have to keep changing their uniforms every couple of years. And you know what? I think for the next 3 to 5 years, I can certainly live with these uniforms. And just seeing them going back to brown and gold, I think if that's not worthy of praise, I don't know what is. But in the long term, I do feel that the Padres could do a little bit more. I do, number one, getting rid of the new word marks, I think, and going with something more classic looking, I think would look terrific. But believe it or not, there's actually one more thing that I would love to see San Diego do, and that's add a gold jersey with brown on it. I think that would look fantastic. But in the short term, I respect San Diego for not wanting to add too much too soon, even though they've got 5 new uniforms coming up for the 2020 season. But in a year or two, I would love to see San Diego add a yellow jersey with brown accents and a brown word mark. I think it could actually look really quite nice, eh? But overall, though, I must say, seeing San Diego go back to brown and gold, I didn't think this was going to happen. So when I heard that they were considering it earlier this year, I've been just so excited since January. And I got to say, 10 months later, it was 110% worth the wait. 100% worth the wait, or whatever. This was worth the wait. That's what I'm trying to say. And I just could not be happier with San Diego going back to brown and gold. Do I think they could have done the uniforms a little bit better? Yes. But let me tell you, folks, am I ever grateful that they've gone back to brown and gold and have finally listened to their fans. This is awesome. So anyways, guys, on that note, I will be calling it a wrap on this video. I hope that you have all enjoyed this video, and I would love to hear what people think about the Padres' return to brown and gold. And yeah, I mean, if you've got something you want to add in the comments section below, I'd love to hear people's thoughts on these, because personally, I think that even though they could have been a bit better in my opinion, I do feel that San Diego did a terrific job with their redesign. It's just so damn good to see them back in brown and gold for the first time since 1990. But anyways, you guys, on that note, I will be calling it a wrap on this video. With that, take care, and of course, as always, you guys, bye for now.